Samoa's natural waters are special. Something goes in there, comes out different. Natural Samoa water, the taste of nature in a bottle.
Salam Samoa, I'm Jack Laban. For any competition, I'm all about speed, skills, culture, and of course, my Texas. Wa'ualia.
O lawin siwa e au wala i se te unga tupe mo le lumana i manuia. E mole puipuinga tau tupe o lo soifua, mai mawhai o na taunu no atu, mo so se mahua anga i te whina ngalo iai.
Samoa Life, le insiua mo tangata nuu o Samoa.
We're here to give the opportunity to people for full-time work in New Zealand as a skilled worker, so trades, carpenter, mechanic, or anyone who's successful with the quota.
Bili magai lewa baua. Kopi manguele kapungia. Koperi rope baua ngai.
A feel my nei loyal Federal Pacific Finance no so mana o ma tau tu.
Before I invite my colleague Nalumana to give you an overview of the campus, I'd like to ask Sione to welcome the proceedings this afternoon with a word of prayer. Sione.
Let's pray. Something that is coming. Tua ma ko ko mau tamai ka he mani a ho afio o to ai he o mau la mari e fia ba mo fa feta ko ia ko al ofa ho afio o tolo to monu ai university ko ala fua i a fa ko lo ko e fa ko lo a ko e ni mea mai ai pare mea ofisi ka ma on hoa ka ma e kau whakapofona ke kau whakataha pia mo ki mautolu i e wheo hi ana o e wheo e hota koe pia koe koro ai au toa ke i whakalau maari rere i a hoa whio ai pare steni pia mo e whatongia mawhatuki toki ua whakawhatongia ki ia e he pure anga fisi ka ma ahono kai ka koe whia ia kone kei lau maari rere ani mea mai ke whonuani ko hia koe tau atai na e whonua koe ni ka i e whainga maari o e hota koe ni whia ia e kare kita o e awhia koni kau maa ahono kau taki pia pehe ki hono kau whaiako ahono whanga wako ke tari rere ai presteni kau maa on hoa e aho whakolo a koe ko ia toa ku mau lotu ki hoa pio ta boat mai si o tamai o eiki ka mau hoa ka behe ke kau folau kotoa pe ko mau kau fataha i e feo i anga o e aho koe tuku ke hoko a e feo hi o ku mau whai i e hoa koe ko e matai koloa ia ke university koe ni ia ngahi mea ke toi aasi ke rei ai ai langa ngā ue mai whai whatungi ia ku mau whai i he aki koe. Koe a toa mohanga atu ki hoa pio, toa he ngā ngahi polo kalama e aho, mau te kāki atu pe ki hoa pio, ke tau whākato pia moe a piona. Mau kore kāto e ngai me ani, wapa peho alo o Sisu Christ, tāko mau whakamohui. Amen.
we have a very tight schedule this afternoon, so without further ado, I'll invite my colleague, Malamana Ronald to give you an overview of the campus, and then we have a program that will take you on a quick walking tour of some of our facilities.
Honorable Sitiveni Rambuka and Mrs. Rambuka, I would like to formally welcome you to USP Samoa campus. Just a quick overview of Samoa campus. We are one of the most beautiful, probably the best campus of USP, without a doubt. And at 3 p.m., as you heard earlier on, thank you, Sione. God speaks Tongan at that hour. And Samoa campus is filled with many regional students. We have them joining us from Tonga, from Tuvalu, from Vanuatu. We have them joining us from Kiribati, as well as a large group of students who recently joined us this year from Tokelau. They were supposed to go to New Zealand, but they came through via Samoa campus to go to the airport and saw how wonderful Samoa is, and they decided to stay with us this year. And we hope for them to stay on. We have about 400 registered students here at USP, and about 200 of those 400 students come through the campus daily. Traditionally, Samoa campus was the home of the School of Agriculture and Food Technology, but because of the wonderful availability of technology, we are able to access more than 90% of all the courses that many of our students that have come to Fiji as the hub are able to access. And Samoa campus is able to enjoy this because of the wonderful work put together by the contribution of all of our staff. So here today we have a select few of our staff. At Samoa campus we have the campus staff, and then the campus staff, they look after all the non-academic services. We are the ones that run around, make sure that the wheels are oiled and everything is put together so that our academic staff who are here, they are the School of Agriculture. We have also some staff for the business school. They are based here, and we make sure that everything is oiled and ready for them. So it's USP is shaping Pacific futures, and truly we are a campus of Pacific students as well as Pacific staff. One of the main highlights of Samoa campus is more than half of our students are from around the region. And I think our Samoan students love to travel to Fiji, so more than half of the students that are Samoan are actually in Fiji. What we're hoping to do is by next semester, we will start seeing some of our Fijian students return to this campus. Because currently, we do not have any Fijian students, but I think this is the beginning of the journey of the sons of Fiji and the daughters of Fiji returning to Samoa campus. So we are very much looking forward to this. And without further ado, I would like today, again, we are here because of the students and their research and their study. So I would like to pass on to a few, we have two students who will be presenting on their research. So many of our students are undergraduate, and we are very fortunate to have returning students to do their postgraduate studies. So we have a master's degree student and as well as PhD student from Tonga, and I'll have them talk briefly about their research. Over to you, Satiki.
With respect to the presence of the Holy Spirit, as our faith is here with us today. To our special guest of honor, Fiji's Prime Minister, Honorable Steven, and of course to your beautiful wife and the rest of your delegation. Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Walter, and the rest of the lecturers, staff members of the University of the South Pacific, Samoa campus, representatives of students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to address this special gathering with regards to the study that I'm going to conduct here at Samoa campus. What makes today unique is the presence of the Prime Minister of the beloved country of Fiji. Please allow me to provide a brief summary of study that I'm going to conduct here at USP. Before I proceed, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Satek Fangho from the Kingdom of Tonga and a PhD student of this campus. I am also the president of the USPSA Samoa branch. Again, I'm one of the recipients of the Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research and Pacific Agricultural Scholarship Support and Climate Resilience Program. Again, I'm more than delighted to share with you all with my intended research. My research is based on a topic, the biology and ecology of interactions between natural enemies and the key participants of large cabbage moth and diamond-backed moth in Samoa. In another way of saying it, I will be working closely with one important insect from the wasp family, namely Trigophragmachilonis. This insect is considered as one of many insects that has the potential to live as a parasite in most eggs of Leptopterans moth. And this wasp is actually present in Samoa. This parasitoid, or this wasp, has been recorded here in Samoa in 2014. And to note, this is the first record in the South Pacific region. These wasps attacked and killed the populations of large cabbage moth significantly. For your information, large cabbage moth is the main and of course the threat to most cabbage growers in the Pacific Island countries, including Samoa. Again, the efficacy of this wasp was also reported in 2021, and the efficacy of this wasp was elevated to another standard. The result of the same study in 2021 reported that this wasp was not only attacking the eggs of large cabbage moth significantly, but also reported attacking other insect eggs. With such great potential, this wasp was recommended to be incorporated with the integrated pest management program of large cabbage moth, not only here in Samoa, but also applied to the rest of the Pacific Island countries where large cabbage moth happen to be present. Now with previous studies have found out the efficacy of this particular wasp in controlling the population of large cabbage moth. However, the current study will investigate whether the same wasp has the same potential in attacking the eggs of diamond-backed moth is also considered as the second threat to all cabbage growers, not only in the South Pacific region, but also in Samoa. The result of the intended study will not only benefit USP Samoa in general, cabbage growers on site, but also to our neighboring countries. The thought of the day: nature can regulate pest population. Synthetic pesticides may be the most effective and fast way of controlling large cabbage moths and diamond-backed moth. However, it poses a detrimental impact, not only polluting our environment, killing beneficial organisms, but also cause harm to humanity. Last but not the least, with such potential was could regulate the population of key insect pests of cabbage crops the ideal of sustainable beautiful wife. I wish you all the best. May the rest of your day here in Samoa. Partela.
Ni sa pula binaka saka nutaka ni ke muni pula pula binaka tiko. Greeting and good afternoon to you all. My name is Tusiata Salu, 25 years, of a Samoa, and I am currently studying for Master of Agriculture, focusing on animal science. I firstly entered USP Samoa campus in 2016 for my study for Foundation of Commerce. After my foundation, I told myself that I wanted to continue my study here at Samoa campus. And there was no question that USP Samoa campus was well known as a school of agriculture. And there were scholarships available for Samoan students provided by the government of Samoa. So I did my bachelor under this scholarship for agriculture in 2018 to 2020. After graduating, I went and worked at one of the Ministry of Agriculture's projects, and after 1 year, I got another scholarship, and I'm here for a Master of Agriculture. My master's thesis is about investigating of local consumer attitude, habits, and preference for sheep meat in Samoa. It is a related topic to one of the Asian main projects that I believe both Ministry of Agriculture in Fiji and Samoa are working on, which titled Improving Small Ruminants, which is sheep and goat production and supply in Fiji and Samoa. For your information, I believe everyone agrees, sheep is not a major livestock anymore found in Samoa, but sheep meat is the most expensive meat in the country. And from the Ministry of Agriculture through Quarantine Division, importation data, sheep meat data keep increasing and increasing from month to month. And I did my research and found out that the government of Samoa imported first sheep from Fiji in 2004. And since then, there were other projects followed that helped this project, and it kept the sheep animal numbers and the farmers increasing from time to time. The government's purpose at the time was to increase or to adapt the sheep meat or the sheep animals in the country so that it can help to minimize the sheep meat importation. But that is not happening. The importation of sheep meat is increasing and increasing from time to time. So my research is to investigate the gap there in terms of the local meat consumer preference, attitude, and habits towards sheep meat in general. The results from my research will help the farmers, especially the sheep farmers, to know if their meat product meet the public sheep meat preference. This preference will be determined by my output. It will also help the farmers to allow their product to enter the local markets, because at the moment there is no local markets for the sheep, local sheep. And the result too will also help my government, the government of Samoa, to see if there is any other approach to how minimize the importation of sheep meat. So that is a brief of my research. I was told to share my academic journey with Samoa campus as an agriculture student. As I mentioned before, when I changed my field of study from commerce to agriculture, it wasn't an easy journey. But here at Samoa campus, it made my journey enjoyable and boastful, where 90% of the bachelor courses were taught face-to-face. Not only did we get to learn the theory from lectures and tutorials, but we get to practice it outdoors through practicals. And I will say that it is a very practical way for agriculture students to learn the theory and apply those theories during studies. During the lockdown, those were some of the times that students did most of their practicals. And because all of the resources were available on campus. For example, we have the livestock farm on campus. We have the soil lab. As for now, as a research student, here at our campus, make my training fast because I'm under my principal supervisor, Professor Siaka Tiara, is available, like physically present on campus. So it made my training very easy. Whenever there is a need for a discussion, we will have a face-to-face discussion apart instead of doing emails, Zoom, trying to make an appointment like that. As a research student, whenever I get stuck on my work, I just walk to their office, especially other supervisors and other researchers. They have their own special field, and different students, for example, the livestock, the crops, the soil, all those lectures are available on campus. It makes it easy for the students to make sure that their training is continuous and easy. One advantage of studying here at Samoa campus is that students can learn from other student culture. We can all agree that agriculture is an important sector in any Pacific country. And it is a must from generation to generation to make sure that agriculture should be a priority, but not an option. Having different culture students in a campus, especially here, is a great opportunity for everyone to learn from it, how different Pacific people do farming in cultural ways and their own ways from their countries, and so on. So well, thank you so much for listening and the opportunity. Inaka makalelo Fafutai.
Lava Satiki and Lava Tusiata for those wonderful presentation. Honorable Prime Minister, would you like to say a few words, or you can leave it at the end of the tour? Okay, so we're going to begin our very brief tour now of Samoa campus, so you can see more of why we need more Fiji students and more of these students to come to us. And then we will be back here briefly and before you go to your next engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would have seen them coming along. I don't know if you've heard of Professor Joeli. Yes. So Professor Joeli planted more than 1,000 sandalwood here on Samoa campus. So in a few years, you're aware of the value.
Yes.
There are at least 50,000 US dollars per tree.
Per tree, yeah.
Yes, so it's a great investment for, I think we have to make it a must for all the regional campuses to plant. So this is all part of the plan for our sustainable agriculture.
Right.
So along the campus, we have native trees. So for Samoa campus had a 2 million tree project program. And the idea is to replace all invasive trees with native trees.
Right.
So we involved the students, and it was a wonderful opportunity during COVID, during lockdown, because we had students that were stuck here, they couldn't travel home. So we were able to use the opportunity to replace all the invasive species trees with native trees. So sandalwood was a choice because of its added value. So just go through it briefly before we. So that's our down there, and just beyond that point, you just come down to a little bit. So just beyond there, so the campus goes all around, and then we have a farm. So that's we have an egg farm, a pig farm, and also sheep. So that's where the livestock is to drive you up so you can have a look. So these are very fresh eggs, and the wonderful thing about USP eggs is you can leave them outside of the refrigerator for 3 months and they last. Yes. So they are free-range chickens. So, and also we try as much as possible not to have aircon because we're very conscious of protecting our environment. So you can see the little bure, the fales, the Samoa fales. So that's where our students study during the day, and even in the evening we make sure that it's well lit, and so they use that area for their studies. And you can see all the assis, all of this. All of this is all Dr. Joeli's legacy. So people will be talking about Dr. Joeli and USP for years and years and years to come. Yeah. Do you have any?
Say he planted over 1,000.
Who's that?
Dr. Joeli.
Joeli.
Yeah. So that's what campus, and then all our residential students, all the residential homes, we have 14 residential homes. They're all along there. So it's very private from the rest of the campus.
I think this evening, Prime Minister, you've been hosted by the Fijian community in Fiji.
Yeah, so you'll see more of the campus.
Right.
Okay, so we'll make our way to the library. Please feel free to ask some questions as we go along. So Samoa campus is 100% non-smoking campus. So, and also no alcohol, but we do allow kava. So you'll be enjoying some kava with the people. So this is our library. It's a very well resource, and any resources that our students cannot bring will come through. And this is Sherry, our senior librarian.
In 2015, when I first came here, we had about 30 to 50% Fijian students, and so the population has grown. We're hoping to be able to send them not just for this year, but the next year. Students from
you have any questions?
No.
Thank you very much.
Honourable, I just want to show you where you will be having the function of the any functions they have. So this evening, okay, so we'll make our way to the soil lab and then that will be the end of our tour.
Okay.
But and it's just a social gathering. We have main space. We have specific main space. You understand?
Okay, yeah. I told you I met the wife on yesterday.
Also, we might take a shortcut. It's a bit hot. We'll take some shortcuts, sir.
Okay.
Is this your first time to visit Samoa?
Campus, no. Yeah. Oh, but not a teacher as well. This is the community also.
Quite a large. Quite a large expat community. Okay, so usually we're supposed to go that way, but we're going to take a shortcut.
Okay.
Yep, come through. Watch your step. Yep, just watch your step, sir. So this Aki is about 3.5 years old.
When is supposed to harvest them?
They mature at about 20 years old. And then when they're 20, you can literally just extract the sap.
Yeah.
Just for the. It's
Yeah.
native also in Fiji. But in Samoa, we no longer have the native Samoan tree. We used to use it to host the dead bodies. Very pleasant here. This is the one place that we have to have aircon. We can't keep all these, we have to make sure that all the fluids are well kept. And I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Dr. Billy Sabo, and he will take you through the tour of the lab.
Narang gobil, randi matu kumailau, sa natakalo, sa bingkara piluang sa renang pagi. Jadi tempat itu na bana lepi ke, itu nito umban itu suilan, itu tangan itu tisu kaca lep ni lagi.
Lep nama?
Bana suilan.
Suilan.
Suilan itu doban kita kena gel ke dari Samoa untuk kemai. Kita ni bandi ke apa? Na tu bagi ni gel. Kita ni bana tak kena na di sini. Entar untuk tisu kaca lep ni dah kita untuk takap kena sana variety bu ni kakak na kau dona variety kita segi bisa ramai rasa na jinjai. Mass production of ginger kaya inoculate ngambil tak, macam kita dia, macam kita sendiri wasian birana.
Do you know how the Chinese deal with that? In
calculate the soil and whether it's applicable or useful for them?
Yes.
How they do?
Can I invite you to have a look at our facility? So we have most of our students, they are doing research with us, testing the soils and relating it to the produce that they want to farm making that income. So we have facilities. International standards that is always changing throughout. Kita bantikan panggil, kita gitu advice enough farmers what they can do to improve the condition of their soils before they actually do the planting of their crops. Jadi maka itu kalau kita gon itu sini di Bangladesh. So he's our soil scientist that is also supervising the works here in Gulf of USP.
How much is flooding affected the soil in Bangladesh?
Oh, normally our soil around 3 months, most of the soil remain underwater. During the rainy season, and we cultivate rice during the rainy seasons over there. So when soil is underwater, that's not a problem because we can cultivate crops. It's rice, the flooded rice, and rest of the 8 or 9 months soil is dry, and the vegetable and the dry land crop is cultivated. So our cropping system is developed in that way.
How much of the soil nutrient flooded out?
Well, some nutrient is flooded out, but this is not. So this is not the erosion. What the problem? This is the rainfall. Due to the high rainfall, the soil, the water comes above the soil. So this is not due to the flooding. Here, like if the soil is a little bit slopey, but our soil is mostly flat land. So there is some erosion. Some nutrient is depleted during this flooding. But
Depleted from where?
from the soil to the river and goes to the sea.
From which soil?
Yeah, the surface soil.
Okay. What
Yeah,
about that,
backland.
those that washed away?
Yeah, washed
Can you bring them back?
No.
Is it still there?
No. We
That's
cannot
why
bring them back. Yeah, we cannot bring them back. And indeed, in Bangladesh, 80% land is developed due to the erosion. The soils, that comes from Himalayas and that.
Okay.
So it is the natural process.
Yeah.
Really, you can show them. Yes, please. Okay.
And this is Celia from Takraw. She's working on biochar, seaweed converting into biochar using it as seaweed.
Seaweed, right.
So
and converting it into what?
To biochar.
To American soils. We have this invasive species in Tokelau, the brown seaweed. It's mostly common in the region. It's been washed up by the currents. It has believed that it was carried over to Tokelau by currents. So we're converting that into more organic fertilizer to put back in the soil to amend the active soil. As we know, active soil is more fertility, and to give back to the environment, and not only the environment, but to increase food security in terms of agricultural produce. And not only that, for the health, welfare for people back on the island. And as we're mainly facing with so much challenge, climate change, so the biochar itself, it locked the carbon dioxide for how many years in the soil. In the soil. And that can really alleviate climate change as well. So we're not only focusing on the property itself there. But we're also focusing, because there's so much research based on the property itself, undermining the aspects of the soil where life begins on plants. We believe that what we add in the soil in a more organic way, methods, or more sustainable way, for our own benefits in the long run. So I've been working on that research, and my
this is also our PhD student, Dr. Lashian from Tama, and he's working on we are trying to look for a suitable system for especially here to meet the but we found out I think it's not suitable for us, especially in Pacific Island countries. Because of the increase. Yeah. So using peanuts, peas, so
people say that we in the Pacific are very have we ever tried to genetically engineer our root crop to produce less carbohydrates?
That's a good idea, but there'll be a challenge. Tissue culture lab here. There's a challenge for tissue.
I'm just a soldier.
Now
I'm not gonna.
I don't do any research on GMO yet.
Okay.
GMO, people have.
Yeah. Thank you very much, my friend.
Sir, what's your step?
I'm watching my step.
We were keeping it very brief because we know that the sun in Samoa is much hotter than in Fiji.
Much what, right?
Yes, it's much hotter because we're much closer to the equator.
Right.
Yeah. So
And,
everything is hot. Humidity also is much more in Samoa than in Fiji. So yeah, I suppose that's another way of combating obesity. We're always sweating.
Yeah.
Well, if we are moving, but the issue is so many people putting aircons in their homes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Just watch your step, sir. There's one more watching of your step. And that brings us to the end of our tour.
Thank you very much.
Is it okay if you want to say a few words? Okay, and then we will also but naturally we have a nice breeze coming through. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Honorable Sitiveni Rampuka to address the audience with a few remarks. Sir?
Good afternoon, Ms. Ambula. Thank you very much for allowing me to come and visit, and for the guided tour that we have just speedily completed. I was advised that the sun in Samoa is hotter than it is in Suva. That's why you do not have so many obese people in Samoa, because you're all moving, sweating. I don't know whether you have any scientific proof of that. Perhaps somebody can develop a study just into that so we can all move to Samoa. I used to be involved in the University of the South Pacific. I was chairman of the advisory committee in the Lambasa Center at the time. Now, Lambasa, yeah, it was a center then, now a full-blown campus. And we in Vunulevu really welcomed that, because it brought a reputable institution of learning at tertiary level into our island of Vunulevu. One thing I mentioned when I started with the Lambasa campus was developing it into a specialized marine studies facility, because it's very close to the what they call in the local dialect. I think it also found its way into the atlas and map at the Bainiwoliku Reef. A good barrier reef full of marine life, and some organisms perhaps have not been discovered. But it would be a good center for that sort of work. And I'm glad that USP is moving into that area now, ocean studies, as the world moves towards getting abreast with and getting up to date with climate change and the various factors of that phenomenon. When I addressed the students and staff at USP Lozala campus earlier this year, when Professor Paul Alwaya was allowed to come back to Fiji, I said I always felt uncomfortable speaking in universities, because I've never been into a university. I've never done any university studies in a university, although I got awarded a university degree for work in a defense college, defense staff college in India, which was aligned with the University of Madras, as we could call them, and they awarded a master's degree for that course. But I'm glad that I'm here, because you know, as the world tries to combat climate change and the effects of that on the world, and the effect of the various phenomena that are affecting us right now, some very hostile, affecting our lines of communication from our supply sources for food. It brings home to us the importance of localized food security, and that's where your campus will come in very, very useful as you develop the sciences that will combat these artificial interruptions interdictions to our supply routes for our security, food security, which is sourced by other farmers in other continents. Very easily interdicted with hostile activities like the war between Russia and Ukraine, and worse by the cost of shipping. When shipping companies increase, or the insurance companies increase the premiums from shipping companies, and everything goes up, and the fuel goes up, and we suffer in our small island territories as the cost of living goes up. So as you study in this area of agriculture, and you look at food security, perhaps we can also be looking at reducing our reliance, our ability to reduce our reliance on the world market. There's so much that the world can do to make us suffer. And there is still yet much more that we can do to reduce, to alleviate the cost rises that we come up against when things happen beyond our control and beyond our boundaries. So thank you very much for the short tour here today. As I said, I'm always uncomfortable speaking to university audiences, so I'm glad I have this opportunity. I had one earlier, and look out, I'm getting more comfortable. The media.
Yep, so we will open up the floor for our media colleagues here. If you can ask one question per media, because Honorable has another pressing engagement, so he has about 5 minutes.
Mr. Prime Minister, why is there no Fiji students in this campus?
Since when? The last time I came here, there were more Fiji students than anywhere else.
It's been 7 years, but since it's been 7 years, sir.
It's been 10 years. I was not Prime Minister then, so don't worry.
Mr. Prime Minister, due respect, it's my question also on a regional basis, if that's okay.
The regional
basis. Yep. Okay, thank you. There was a Pacific Leaders meeting recently in PNG, and I know that you are aware of the U.S. and China competition in the Pacific. I was just wondering of your views on the possibility of militarization of the Pacific.
Sorry to interrupt, Lani. This is a USP.
I know, that's why I
thought you were going to ask a question about regional university. Is it okay?
A regional university? What was the question?
The militarization of
Militarization.
of the Pacific.
Oh, okay. Well, when was the Pacific not militarized? When was it ever not militarized? First World War and Second World War were fought in the Pacific. And it will still be a theater of superpower or major power rivalry. We just have to make sure that our policies do not exacerbate the situation, that we conduct our international relations wisely, and wisely means those we are sure of, those we are comfortable with, those that are aligned to our values of democracy, and whatever values we value, those are the ones we need to protect.
Mr. Prime Minister, my question is in regards to Mr. Powell. I know recently that he came back to meet with you as well as but I just wanted to ask whether the offer still stands for him to come back to Fiji and base there.
I thought he had come back.
He's, as a veteran of the university, he's been back many times, sir.
To Samoa?
So Samoa and Fiji, so
okay.
he's been traveling.
No. My understanding is that he is back in Fiji, but I met his wife yesterday. So a good man will always be close to his wife. So.
I think that's the challenge. The wife likes the beaches here, and he likes Fiji. But he of course, has been back to Fiji.
I think the USP Council understands that the location of the Vice Chancellor is Lodap in Suva. I think it's also a good time for us to speed up our repayment of our arrears before we can honestly say he should be here. At the moment, we owe the USP still too much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Prime Minister, I was just going to touch on the outstanding areas which you briefly mentioned, but I just wanted to know if there's an update from your government and Fiji given an undertaking to pay off the grants that it owes to the University of South Pacific.
We have given the undertaking. We've paid the first installment, and the next one will be paid with the annual grant that Fiji should pay to university. And we'll continue to do that until we liquidate our debt.
I understand that after this, you're meeting the opposition leader, former Prime Minister Tuleka. Could you brief us on what your meeting is all about?
I'll meet him later.
You can ask lots of questions when
I'm not meeting. Is he leader of the opposition now?
He's the leader of his own party. But he's no longer recognized as the leader of the opposition in parliament.
Okay, I'm visiting him because we were prime ministers together.
Okay, Langi, would you like to ask one more question? Okay, any other questions from the media?
Have you been served the favorite local delicacy, Mr. Prime Minister? Have you been served with the local favorite delicacy? What's your favorite food in Samoa since you landed?
Food.
What's your favorite food in Samoa since you landed?
I just had it. What's it called? It's wrapped in banana leaf, made from. No. I know balsamic. We call it pololo. Some people call it galu. Yeah, that's it. I just had some. I like it. I make it at home, but this is better here.
One more question. Any plans of coming back after this?
We'll be coming back for I'll be coming back for Chogam, and if there are any other regional meetings that I can legitimately claim to come on duty on, I'll come.
And sir, since you're looking for a campus to study, you're more than welcome to Samoa. We will wait for you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, media. And this is an opportunity for us to take some photos, and if we can have all the students that presented today, actually all the students, please come along to the front and we'll take a photo with